Yes, open up the chat and go live. Roll call, everybody. We are live. I'm excited by myself. Okay, so I need to open the chat. Gotta remember to do things in order. Oh my gosh, cameras and everything are blocking my way. Top chat, live chat.
You need to move something?
Okay, no, I think it's good now. Hello, Cal! Good to see you. See you see you. So, oh my gosh, I'm starting to feel like these moments on Thursday Roll Call Live are my minute to breathe, are my downtime, even though it's kind of manic and mayhem. I promised I'd have a new camera. Here it is. See it? Yeah. Guess what? I still haven't figured out, after all these stupid parts that I had to buy, I still haven't figured out how it works, okay? So I'm gonna need another week. I'm juggling so much crap. I've got sticks in the air, I've got leaf in the air, I've got camera in the air. Okay, I just need to breathe. So I have this new beautiful mug. You know what? And this saying is so perfect for right now. Hello, Tanya! My beautiful VIP. How are you, darling? Look at my mug. It says, not today, heifer! And the back, not my pasture, not my cows, not my bullshit. Okay? So yes, this is my new favorite mug of all time. And today I do have something fabulous in it. Now, some of you may or may not know, my last name is Milano. So this is a Milano Milk Shake. Let's see if I had that good camera sitting over there up and functional for you. I would be able to show you the beautiful color that it is. Tonight it is blueberry. So I'm gonna tell you real quick. I know, I love the mug too, right? So I'm gonna tell you all about who made it. Well, I can just tell you that she makes these fabulous mugs. She's on Instagram, so you have to go find her. Hold on. Before I tell you what's inside. So she is on Instagram and she posts, you know, all her beautiful mugs, and she will customize just like she did this one with the beautiful gold on the bottom, fade to glory. Yes, it's wonderful, right? Look at that cow. Look at that cow. Look at the bling, honey. Look at the bling. Don't look at my nails because I've been slaving, okay? No time for that. No time. Okay? But look at that. Look at that. Not today, heifer. Yes, look at that. See? And look at that. Do you see the thermal inside? Girl, what? Thermal. So, I'm gonna put my lid back on for my liquor disappears. All right, so I'm gonna tell you what's in the Milano milkshake. Because, hunty, this is my secret recipe. It's fabulous. First, I must tell you who she is. Okay, hold on. Give me a second. Give me a second while I get there. Yes. Okay. So here's her page. And, yes, with my mug going rounds and rounds. Isn't it great? Let's see if you can see her page, though. Oh, all this damn glare. See, can you see her? Can you see her? Right there. Oh, almost had it. Damn. Right there. Look at me struggling to get an angle, y'all. Anyways, Oh, Sweet Addict. OHSWEETADDICT. I have to spell it because, you know, people spell things differently. Like I spell things differently. So you might want to enunciate or pronunciate or whatever to get your own personalized handle. And as a result, people spell things differently, right? So I had to make sure. So I spelled it all out. But don't you see my mug while it was in creation? Yes. Look how she did me. Yes, isn't it nice? And she will make whatever you want. And I saw her do that cow one. I was like, she said, oh, I might want to put it on the back. I might want to say, yeah, that's mine. Say all that. So let me tell you about the Milano Milk Shake. Because she gave me this mug, I know it'll still cold during our little session here. So you're going to need to go get you some of this. Okay. This is coconut rum cream. Okay. You're going to need half of this bottle. So when I make my milkshakes, I got to use these or else I put too much. Okay. So this mug right here is going to take you. You're going to need to get you some of this. Right. And some of this. Okay. Can you see that? This is moonshine. A little shot of moonshine. It's like 2, 3 shots, 4 shots. Okay. 4 shots maybe. And then you get you some of this. This is Shipwreck coconut rum cream, right? You're going to need 50-50 of this. 3 Milano cookies. A strawberry, must be real fruit strawberry. Okay, right now, take notes. I'm telling you, I'm already so happy. So you're gonna need you 3. Now you could do a little bit more if you can take a little bit more. Okay, you can put the whole bottle of each in there if you want to, right? So you're gonna need to get you some. Where did I leave off? 3 cookies, 3 Milano cookies, maybe 4, but it gives you great thickness. This is really thick. Let me see if I can pour and demonstrate. Okay, so it's thick. I ain't trying to play. You see me pouring, right? Thick. 3 cookies, right? And then like 2 tablespoons of blueberries. It can be frozen blueberries. And your frozen strawberry has to be real fruit strawberry popsicle. Okay? This way you get the real fruit, not some fake generic artificial flavored crap. Okay? Not trying to kill you, just want you to have some liquor in your milkshake. Okay? Milano milkshake, whoop-de-whoop. Now, you can do this in any manner of ways, but the thickness doesn't come from milk, doesn't come from, it comes from my magic ingredient, pudding. So you need half a banana, okay? And some white chocolate, about a tablespoon of white chocolate pudding powder, okay? I am dead serious. Girl, yes, I'm trying to tell you it's so good. So white chocolate pudding powder, that is where you get your thickness. You add just enough real water, and by real water, I mean not from the fucking faucet, okay? Filtered water, not distilled. Distilled is what I use for the leaf. You know, go get you some spring water, you know, something fabulous. And then put it in here, all of it. You can go a little heavy-handed on the moonshine, okay? So then I just have one of those mugs. Damn, so good. I just have one of them mugs. You put the little screw, the little blender part, and you turn it upside down. Done. Pour the whole thing into one of these. Go get you one. She will make you whatever you want. You can put whatever writing on there, anything you want. They're fabulous. Now, mine is blingy, so men, don't get carried away. You get you a little cigar put on there and say something manly and masculine. Make yourself feel pumped up and wonderful. Kiss your arms, you know, all that shit you do. Whatever. Doesn't matter. So, get you one. Put you some Milano Milk Shake. Milano. The cookie is on the shelf. And it's amazing. It's amazing. So, that's my beverage for tonight. You gonna hear me doing a lot of smacking though. Hey, fuck what you heard. It's delicious. Damn near edible. So that's our drink for the day. Our pairing. And Tanya, this is for you, love. Your shoe is not even ready for me to put my hands on like that, okay? It's way too wet. I just can't be touching with the gold. I'm limited on my gold supply, so I don't want to fuck it up. I will get it to you, and I will have a nice little extra video just for you so that you can have your own personal unveiling of your golden shoe. But this is for you and Carl. Make sure you tell Carl that there is a proper way to smoke a green Candela through and through, okay? Candela through and through means wrapper, binder, fillers are Candela. We didn't talk about Candela, so we're going to talk a little bit about that tonight. So I have this Candela through and through, green, green, green. And primarily what we need to talk about is how to smoke it. It is not the same as your conventional cigar. It's not even the same as the trifecta, which has weed and a whole bunch of other shit in it, right? And it's not the same as the, excuse me, the silk blend. Got myself all excited. Which, of course, is the corn husk, okay? With this, you need to listen while you draw. And what are you listening for? Remember when you were a kid and you used to have Kellogg's Snap, Crackle, and Pop? You used to put it in there and your mama used to say, put your ear down. Put your ear down. And you would listen and it would go, right? Yeah, that's what you're listening for. So as you're drawing, until you hear the snap, crackle, pop, keep drawing. Draw till you hear that Rice Krispie sound. Once you hear the Rice Krispies, you can lay it down. You can rest it. Okay? Very, 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 very important. So I'm going to demonstrate that so that you can hear that Rice Krispie sound. And what is happening as you're drawing the Candela? Oh my God, I have to smell this. This is almond. I'm ready. This is going to be wonderful. And it is a hoof cut. So you can see the angle in the cut. That is a hoof cut. Okay, it's cut like the hoof of the bull. These are not strong blends, but they are flavorful, right? They are made with 3 different varietals of Candela. Remember, just because it's green doesn't mean it's all the same leaf. This is Dominican and Ecuadorian, Indonesian, okay? So, Indonesian, Ecuadorian, let me check. Let me check. To be sure. Sometimes I have brain fogs and my mind forgets. Oh, let me take one out so you can see, because you know I like to stretch it for you. I like to stretch it. Let me stretch it for you. Let me get one out and stretch it for you. All right. So this is a beautiful, rich Candela. Okay. So this particular varietal is Ecuadorian, but the texture, like you can get 2 Ecuadorians and they still be 2 different varietals, because you might be getting a Viso and you might be getting a Seco, and those varietals do make a difference in flavor and also in strength. So when I'm putting these together, they have multiple varietals, and I do layer them according to their personal strength and their personal flavor profile, which is unique. This one is my favorite because it burns so beautifully. And it is the one that I carry the heaviest load in any blend with. So this is so lovely. And when you just, like I said, you just a little misting, right? A little bit of misting. You just take that little center vein, get it till it's good, rip it out like that, right? So it gives me my 2 halves. And just like any other blends, I would, if this were my wrapper, I'm going to wrap it up one way, flip this one, and wrap it up the other way. The reason why I do that with any and all leaf is because I don't know if you can see through the kind of like the transparency of this, but as you cross them, they create a kind of lattice effect. And that lattice effect is like this. So the leaves, the veins are not going in the exact same direction. I choose to do that because I feel fairly confident that no matter what way I do choose to arrange the leaves or what thickness they are, when I arrange them in that way, they catch one vein after the other, giving you that more consistent, even burn. So if all the veins are going the exact same way, kind of barber pole style, then, you know, you could get some that run or around, but if you have a crisscross vein, it'll stop there. So if it starts to run, it'll stop at the crisscross. It's like running intersection, and they kind of prevent each other, fire meeting fire. They kind of prevent each other from getting carried away. That's just kind of like a little scientific engineering structural type thing that I do with all of the wrappers. And that is why I insist on doing full wrapper, right? So real quick, I want to talk about this. You know what this is? This is a $2 stick. $2 Joan, right? Because everybody says, you know, oh, you spend all this money getting this and blah, blah, blah. I can go get this $2 Joan, hook it up. Yeah, you could. But it's not this, okay? This is $2. This is $2. This is $2. This is $2. Say it with me now. This is $2. This is roll call, right? Class is in session. This is $2. This is $2, right? I still have to add at least 10 of this to get this. Let's make that very, very clear, okay? So the next time somebody comes talking to you about, I don't know why you spending all that money. You could just go get you a $2, 50 cent, 99, whatever. You can go, yeah, you can go get your piece. Yeah, you can go get it. Go ahead. Go ahead and get it. Because you have this, right? Now, the buck keeps rolling on, right? It has to be brought into this country. And then it has to be processed and stored in this country. And then we have to get it. And then we have to process and store it. So that $2 is just when it gets to my door, right? Just when it gets to my door. Then I have to design, you know, do the blending and do the design detail, and then package and have it sent out, okay? So the process is much different. Yeah, wow, right? $2, $2. This is one leaf. This is a bunch of something. So one day I'm going to dissect those and go over them with you when I have this, right, up and functioning much better for you. So you can see exactly what's inside $2 and what's inside not $2, okay? So I want to demonstrate the burn for this so that you have a great experience. The leaf, like many other leaves that are tougher burns, will have a blacker ash, okay? It's just the nature of the beast with the Candela. It will have a blacker ash. Oh, I'm sorry. Could I have you later, please? Sorry, don't look at the back of my mop because my mop's a mess. Oh, I'm not allowed to call it a mop. It's a mane. Thank you. I know my hair is a mess. It's okay. Okay. It's all right to have a mess sometimes. I got time. Okay. So, toast. Yeah. Little juice first. Little juice. When you do juice yourself, when you juice your lighter, okay, try to blow away, because even though you can't see it, there may be some fumes that are escaping. You don't need to breathe that. So you see me doing that, I'm just blowing those fumes away. I'm around this all the time. So, you know, you do want to add some preventative measures in your life. You know, if you do smoke, go for walks, take some meditation, breathing classes, things to help your lungs and the vitality of your lungs, because you are in a room with smoke. And so preventative measures are good. You have people who are sitting in a stale house, dusty, with no filter on their furnace and all that extra, and they have issues and they don't even go for a walk. So you just do things to kind of counteract some of what your desire to indulge in this therapeutic pleasure. Okay, so we're going to toast that first. Remember, we're doing all green in, all green out. This has full binder. And by full binder, I don't mean a half, I mean full. Just like we have full wrapper, it's 2 halves. We also have full binder, 2 halves, and then your fillers, which are layered according to strength. So you have a true master blend. And what you would experience more than anything is your strength transition, because the greens have similar but not the same flavor profile. It is a medium flavor profile, unless you have the alcohol infused version. Takes a little longer, okay? A little longer to toast. And again, your toast will be, your ash is going to be black. Do a little blow. See a little purple there? You will always, always get that purple haze. Purple haze is so pretty. Your husband makes you smoke outside? Well, you know, some wives make their husbands smoke outside. What you gonna do? What you gonna do? You know what I'm saying? You just go outside. Or build you a porch with a screen in, or get some what do you call those things? French doors, or glass sliding doors, so you can have it either way. But I will tell you my secret. My magic secret. I haven't even drawn on this. Good Lord, let me help. I want you to pay attention to that sound when I get to it, okay? But I will tell you my secret. Don't let me forget. I will tell you. I don't know if you're going to hear it. I'm going to try to let you hear it, okay? And get a little closer. Were you able to hear anything? There's a little, and when you hear that sound, that's when you stop, okay? Because that tells you that you have reached juices. You have reached the juice of the veins, okay? And the veins, as they're heating up, they will let you know that they are hot by making these slight popping sounds. If you don't hear those popping sounds, your embers haven't gotten to the edge yet. You haven't gotten to this outer ring, and you're drawing in moisture, and you're going to hear that snap, crackle, pop, Rice Krispie sound, okay? Oh, you hear it? Great. That's what you're listening for. Very, very important. If you stop drawing before hearing that sound, this stick will go out, okay? So by pulling it until you hear the snap, crackle, pop, that tells you you can rest. If you rest prior to that, it's going to go out way too fast. And you're going to find that you're just burning up the center, which is the driest area. With Candela, the center is going to be drier than as if you had like hair or something like that, because all this leaf is the same consistency through and through. The Dominican is a little thicker. And so even though it's in the center and it's in there, you can even see as the smoke is dying down. So it's more frequent. But even though it's in the center, it's still affected. Burn is still affected by those other Candela varietals. So the main thing is you have to be more attentive to the green leaf, okay? But that flavor profile on that palette be banging, okay? You get that nice, subtle grassy green. You get the fall, because one of them gives more of a winter contribution. And when I say winter, like the notes are deeper, they're darker, they're more, they aren't as fresh and popping like the spring ones, right? And then you get the ones that are like fall, where the grass is, because it has more of a grassy profile. So you get the the grass that's a little drier, and it reminds you of more like hay in the winter, and then more like fall leaf grass, you know, like when the fall and the grass gets a little dry. And then that spring candela is really just off the chain springtime. I mean, it just smells like Easter. So the combinations together give you a nice balance of all of those kind of palette effects. So you get something that's just a real good hybrid, right? So hopefully you were able to hear that. Hearing that snap, crackle, pop, then I'm good. But you see how when I brought it back, I had to get that center to pull out to the edge. So very important. It's creamy, okay? Candela is a creamy. It leaves a cream base as if you licked butter, okay? It leaves a cream base. You licked butter and the butter tastes like grass, spring grass, not like three-leaf clovers. You know, when you were a kid, you saw three-leaf clovers and you're like, oh, I'm going to be so rich. It's so good. The melting pot of honey is at the end of the rainbow, blah, blah, blah. So you go and you pick the three-leaf clovers and you eat them. Okay, so it's not quite as dandelion-ish as three-leaf clovers, but it's fresh like that. It's fresh and alfalfa-y. Yeah? On the retro, you're going to taste the marination, unless you have a naked blend, okay? But it's going to be creamy. It's a very different experience. You get that leather profile whenever you have, you know, your Midoras and your Oscuros. You can get leather, you can get wood, you can get cedar, you can get nuts, you can get coffee, you can get raisin, you can, oh my gosh, the list just goes on and on and on. With this blend, it is just very consistent through and through. You get to enjoy all the buttery, rich cream, and then you have the different flavor profiles that the marinations add to that, right? So it's a very enjoyable experience. You can see the ash. Like I said, it'll burn a little blacker. See that? Still going to get some white ash in there, but for the most part, those edges, this is a well-rested blend, but those edges would be consistent. Now you see it was a hoof cut, right? So I keep that hoof end facing up. This was the cut this way, right? So this end, you want to just keep it up, which is the longer end. So if you keep it up, the heat and gravity will do what it's supposed to do, and the heat will rise and catch that up with the rest of it. And then if you want to spin it around, you can. So that's kind of how you smoke a hoof cut, right? You smoke the hoof cut until you bring them even, always keeping the toe of the hoof facing up, okay? So lovely. That's exhale draw is just, you can just feel the cream going across your palate. It's really very nice. You pick up the sweetness, but you pick up that earthy, and at the same time you get that marination just subtly on the draw and subtly on the blowout, on the exhale. But on the retrohale up in here, when you do it, you really taste that marination. And I would say that if you, and it pairs so well with the Milano Milk Shake. If you didn't hear about the Milano Milk Shake, back it up, go back to the beginning, and get the recipe, write it down, and sit back and get it on. Now, why it pairs so well? Because this doesn't have that effect, but it has the beautiful flavors, right? This has the effect, but won't drown the flavor, because you're going with fruits. In here, you have fruits and nuts, and you have the florals, you have the roses, and you have my excitement. This week, I have talked so much this week. Where did I go where I was screaming and hollering and yelling? So I'm kind of getting my talking voice back. So you have to forgive me. Oh, I went dancing. And I was screaming at the band. I ain't gonna lie. I was screaming at the band. I needed a break, okay? I needed a break. Collect my brain. No. These two, Tanya, get you this and hook you up with this. Do them together. And if you have pineapple, do the pineapple, but keep to your, like, my moonshine was punch. Okay. So this was Hunch Punch Moonshine. It's by Old Smoky. It's 40%. Okay. So it's not crazy bad, but it tastes so great. It complements any of the berry fruits whenever you're making your Milano milkshake. And then that coconut just is a fabulous top off. So if you're going to get your moonshine, you can get pineapple to go with the coconut. And then you add your other berries. If you want to use real pineapples, use real pineapples. It's so yummy. It really is. And if you pair various ones, you can even do coffee. No lie. Because instead of using water, supplement your water with coffee, like a strong coffee, okay? Make it strong. And then that little bit will just take over. Don't worry about the fruits. Don't worry about put them in there. Get them in there. The key to keeping it thick for this size is going to be 3 Milano cookies. Okay, 4 if you like really love them. And you can use the raspberry. If you're going fruity, you can use the raspberry filled. If you're going to substitute your coffee for milk, you can in my case, this is water, right? Water and the liquor. But if you're going to substitute your water for milk, then you want to go with the mint. Okay, then that'll give you that mint chocolatey type of mint chocolate ice cream feel, but as liquor base. Okay, so you see, I've been talking, yeah. So. See, now my edge is back. You see how we did that? Okay, that edge comes back. Your heat starts in that center because you were talking like me a lot, right? Or so relaxing, and maybe you just closed your eyes and you came back to right? Start here in the center, and as you're drawing each pull, 4 good, long, strong draws, and you should be back to your edge again, okay? Keeping that foot up like this will make sure that you get that burn caught up. Of course, I'm talking and not paying attention, which is what you need to do for this blend, okay? And then I would have already caught up, but I haven't yet. So and just let gravity. You can even see as the smoke is going up the shaft of the stick, the body of the stick. See, as the smoke is going up there, that's science. That's the heat. That's the nature of gravity doing its work. See the direction that it's going? That's the same direction you want the burn to be going. That's why it's starting to toast. It's starting to turn a blackish brown there. Few more draws in, that'll start to catch up. So if I really wanted to like pay attention and not jaw jack, you would see this get auto corrected. Okay. So even if you get a blend that's in the, you're in the lounge somewhere and you get a blend that might have been overhydrated or it laid on that side too long, because whatever side it lays on, that's where the moisture pulls down. Even if it's on an angle, the moisture is pulling to that side, right? So as you are smoking, you may have a challenged side that ripples or that begins to buckle. That's moisture. So you want to make sure that you just pay a little attention to that moisture part, keeping it up so that the gravity will do the work with the heat. Okay. The drier side, you have no worries. If you keep the dry side up and the moist side down, you are going to smoke all this and have a big old ripple down here. You may know what I'm talking about. So Yes, it is. It is a sit, relax, and meditate cigar. The woosah you're going to get is from this, okay? The pleasure will be from this. The enjoyment will be from this. Woosah, pleasure, enjoyment. Say it with me now. Woosah, pleasure, enjoyment. You see, I'm enjoying myself over here, right? Oh, suck it now. Bro, remember last time how I told you I wasn't going to leave my precious Maduro out so that you could see how it would be crispy? Well, I have this. I want you to hear, since I've had it out, starting to get on the crispy side, right? I don't know if you were able to hear that, but as it starts to get on the crispy side, oh, here, this one's even more. See? Look at that. Remember I was saying how sitting it out just for a short time, if you don't take care of it, it will just become like fall leaves. And you could just like, shh, it'd be nothing. So maintenance, right? When we get this leaf, we have to take care of it, right? We have to moisten it. We have to keep its air pressure at the right temperature. We have to keep the amount of air it's exposed to at the right degree, because too little air, we get mold. Too little air with moisture, you get mold. Too little air with darkness, you get mold. I got to put the power on to make sure that I have a balanced hydration going on with all the varietals that I have, which are somewhere around 50, 60 varietals at any given moment, okay? By the pounds. So anyway, very important. If you have any question, oh, I know, it's so true. It happens so fast. So you always have to be careful. That's why I can only do when I have someone's order, and if they have a 10 count or a 15 count or a 20 count, I can only do one at a time because they have one of each. They might have 20 different blends. So I have to pull one at a time and devein, debone one at a time, because otherwise, by the time I've gotten to the next one, I've gotten crust. I've got crispies. I'm just wasting product. So can't do that, right? Gotta really be conscious all the time, which is why I struggle with like rolling live, because you have to be so conscious. Although I am gonna just have a couple of sessions here and there where I'm just rolling and no talk, just point when the camera is good so you can really see what I'm doing, because this is just blur. I only see down here. It's just blur. See? Just you wouldn't be able to see really good what I've got going on here. So I want you to benefit from the quality of the experience. So as I'm trying to bring it back, it's one blow out, two strong in, one blow out, two strong in. It saves you fuel. One blow out. You see, I brought it back from nothing, right? That's what you got to do. So if you start running out, you don't want to just keep flaming, right? Because every time you flame, you pull that stained leaf back up your stick. And each time you do that, then you run the risk of turning your stick towards the end. So you don't want to just put too much of that. Just, if you lose sight, you lose track, like I will so often do, just one blow out, two strong in. And you'll start to see the cloud pick up. One blow out, two strong in. I exaggerated my cheek so you could really see the difference. One blow out, two draw in, right? And you'll see that purple ring come back. Okay. On this side, it'll look like a blood red more than purple, but the UV in the camera is going to turn it purple. So you see that? Okay. So, and when you go to tap your ash, whatever doesn't fall off in a tap, forget it. Leave it on there because it helps to insulate your leaf. It's just like when you're grilling, you know, those coals are insulating the embers inside. So you can move the ash around a little bit. That's okay. But you don't remove the ash. You know, you want oxygen to access, but you also want to insulate it so the air just doesn't put it out. So, I'm telling you, better get you some. Best to get you some. In a few more minutes, I'm not going to have nothing left of this leaf over here. See it crusting up? Look at that. Becomes nothing. My $2 becomes nothing. I did this because I wanted you to know how fast and how rapidly that happens. And we have to work with the leaf at a certain pace to where we are going to get a consistent roll, consistent bunch for you. Again, it's by hand. You have more authority over it when you do it by hand than when you put it through a bunching press. People might say, well, you know the feel, you learn the feel. You do learn the feel, but you don't know what's happening to the leaf once it's in the machine. And I'm talking about the bunching machines where you see them put it and they tuck it and then they roll it out. They press it out. And then that bunches it. It kind of bunched the binder with your bunch of blend, right? Your leaf blend. You take that with the binder and you roll it up. So if you have a stick that's been like that, that's been rolled in that way or pre-rolled in that way, and then roll the wrapper on after. But if you have one that's been bunched in that fashion, then once it's in there, you don't know, especially if it has those veins and those sticks, those twigs in there. So when you have them in there like that, you don't know whether or not they, get contorted, they get twisted, they pop out towards the side. And as they're zigzagging in there by the machine itself, you could wind up with a hole up here, like a hole here, and you're still down here. That's because somehow as it was bunched, it came out this way inside, came out, went back inside. So somewhere that bone got bent like an elbow and then came out the side like this. And so once it gets lit, it burns out and then tries to track back in. Then your whole thing is just going, okay? So that's one way that you can get those potholes, as I call them, okay? Where up the stick somewhere, you'll get a blowout where the stick will just kind of have a protrusion that will catch on fire and burn a hole. And, it's really hard to save the leaf after that. I mean, you can, but it's hard. So how did I get out on that? Oh, I forgot. Oh, I know. The Candela is awesome. So I enjoy the Candela for its very uniqueness. I don't know of anyone else who does the through and through. There might be somebody. You can inform me, let me know. I don't know, but I've not heard of anyone that does the through and through, because you get so many people who say that the Candela is gross. It's not gross. And the proof is having it by itself. Now, it can be blended with leaves, and not every leaf goes with every leaf. I'll say that over and over again. Not everything is for everyone, right? Same with leaf. Not every leaf is for every cigar blend. You will clash it. It can clash with other leaves. Like some people don't like Connecticut shade. I bet you I could get a blend that you would like that has Connecticut shade. In fact, I have some blends that have Connecticut shade inside and people don't even know. It's like kids with pepper. Like, I stewed up the onions and the pepper. You didn't even know it was in there. But if you see it, then suddenly you don't like it. So, keep talking. Now I'm back. So you can see, you can really get a long time out of it. You can clip it and come back to it. that's fine too. Oh, very, very important. When you get them, because the outer leaf is exposed to the air, don't squeeze these. Don't squeeze these like the ones you have in the store, okay? Don't do that, okay? Allow the moisture. See? Now you can squeeze it because the moisture from the air has drawn up, warmed up the leaf, gotten the hot steam of the air pushed into the wrapper, and now it has that flex, so you can do that. But when you get fresh rolls, if you get a wrapper that is sensitive to the air, and hear that, see all that, how that's happening? I don't want that all up in my keys, okay? When you get it, you see, it didn't take long, right? When you get that and you start pressing the outside, that's what's going to happen, okay? So fresh rolls until it's reacclimated to your humidor's conditions, because I try to get it down for you. I try to bring it down so when you pop it in your humidor, it can come up and rehydrate to your own conditions. Now, if your conditions aren't humid, it may not rehydrate unless you put the little balls or the little hydration pellets in, or you have a brick stone that is a moisture stone, soap stone. If you have some sort of a warmer with a pot in it, or you can get Pyrex. You can get a Pyrex, fill it with distilled water and put it on a coffee mug warmer. Keep it inside of a larger humidor. You can go online and find all kinds of humidor boxes. Look on Craigslist, be safe, but check it out. Like, you can get something that is larger to rehydrate your blends in before you put them in a smaller humidor. So, it's like, depends on how many cigars you're buying on a regular. You always have to be conscious of the type of leaf that you're dealing with and whether or not the conditions need to be pre-treated before you put them in your humidor. If you bring something back from a humidor that is hydrated or overhydrated and you put it in your hydrated humidor, you are going to have a mold problem, okay? Sticks need air. They need light, not too much light, not bright light, okay? Not the sun. They need light, a little illumination, and they need that moderate warm climate, okay? Moisture, but not a sauna, okay? It should feel like spring in your box, like a warm spring morning, okay? But it should smell like cigars. Yes. So very, very important, because if you keep your sticks, sometimes I deliver sticks like Tanya, you'll get a stick delivered in your shoe, for example, will be in a glass box. But I get the glass box so it specifically has little openings to allow the air. Don't put it in a sunny spot in the window, right? Put it on the shelf where it gets light, but not too much light. If you have a humidor that's a walk-in humidor, anywhere in there will do. If you have one that is a standalone 300 count or something like that, and you want to put it on a shelf, that's fine too. But the key thing is always allow air, because some containers that I'll send something in, I'll tell people open the container once a month, right? Just let a little air. If you have a display case, I always get one that has easy door on the front. So if your blends are on display on the wall as an art collection, once a month, it's maintenance. You dust shit, just open the thing and close it back up again, right? This will prevent your sticks from, getting too wet, too dry, to anything. Moisture, darkness, and lack of oxygen, mold. Moisture, darkness, and more moisture, more mold. Light, moisture, mold, right? So these are the conditions that are favorable to mold. So you don't want to expose your nice, costly blends to anything that is going to, like, you'll get these in a case, right? You'll get yours in a case, okay? It's zipped up, it's closed, it's sealed. I will not add moisture, okay? Because moisture and darkness, mold, right? So they dehydrate, they go in here, well, they'll wait. You add them then without pinching to your new climate, and then they reacclimate. If you want to then take them from there to the lounge, you can put it back in here and you'd have a nice travel case, okay? So that's how you need to do your routine maintenance on your Candela. Very, very important, okay? So some people might say, fresh seems like too much work. Well, you go out there and you spend money on a Lexus, on a Ferrari, on a Rolls Royce, and see if they ain't some damn work, okay? You have to mind the condition of high quality premium blends. You have to mind the condition, right? You value what you have. Treat them like this, not a good idea, okay? Even this blend, like I can look at it and I'm just, you know, for as perfect as it's supposed to be, I can count the flaws. But in any event, good information. Yes, you're very welcome. So I just want you to have the best experience possible. Okay. So what else was I going to talk about? Any questions about your Candela? If you have any questions about your Candela, now's a good time since, you know, it's all about the Candela. I can't think of anything else about the Candela that's important to note. Enjoy, right? Very important. That's important, is to enjoy. And don't forget your beverage. Don't forget your pairing. Some people, like I was talking about pairing your food, right? And when I was talking about, I did forget to mention one note in the last session. When I was talking about, you know, your heavier, full XXXXX blends, and eating, you don't have to eat during. Just very important to eat within the hour prior, okay? So that there's something on your stomach. You coat your stomach with something, right? So important little tip to remember is that you will be able to embody the body of a full body if you just have a little something on your stomach, okay? Let's see what else. I'm trying to think what other leaves are very similar. Candela is just so unique to itself. There's not another leaf that you can taste and say, oh, you know, this one reminds me of Candela. Like you can taste an Oscuro and a Maduro, and the Oscuro and Maduro have similar profiles. You can taste a Colorado and a Colorado Maduro, and they have some similar profiles, right? And you can say, oh, this reminds me of such and such. It just has these other characteristics to it. But Candela is not like that. Candela is very unique to itself. Connecticut shade too is unique to itself, but there are other leaves that I can think of that are very similar to Candela, to Connecticut shade. And so they have some profiles that share, maybe not in texture, but in flavor, right? And so texture is very important. Texture is very important in the placement of a blend. You could have something that is, you know, really, really thick. You put that on the outside of your stick, and your stick has all these beautiful, rich secos and visos and, you know, minimal ligero because you're going for something more medium-bodied. And in any event, you could wind up just barreling the whole stick because that outer wrapper just doesn't want to burn, right? So it's important to pay attention to the texture of the leaf that you're selecting. Make sure that it's something that, you know, if you get something that's Maduro on the outside, you want to make sure it's got some Habano on the inside. Like get some Habano, some Maduro. You put all that stuff in there. Otherwise, you might get something you're just not happy with. I tell you a stick that I am not happy with. I am not happy with the payback. I'm sorry. I'm just not happy with the payback. There's some blends out there I love. Oh my God, I love anything my father. Oh, my father, yes. Yes, daddy, what you need. Oh, I love anything my father. But I am just not happy with the payback. Like every time I have a payback, I feel like you didn't give me all I was owed. Like you were supposed to pay me back in full, and bitch, where my money at? That's how I feel when I smoke a payback. So I'm sorry, I just can't go there. So there are just some sticks that I like get all amped up about, and I'm all excited, and I think, yeah, I'm gonna really sit back and enjoy this, and it's just never what I expect each time. So it's not something that I can say I enjoy. There are others that I really, really enjoy. So that's all I'll say about that before I get carried away and say so much will be said live. Live on roll call. So it is 8:02. We are almost at 1 hour. I am so happy. Can other cigars change the flavor of the cigar put in the same box? Absolutely. Absolutely. Honestly, even the, do I have any here? No. I took this out of a cello. When I say cello, the little clear wrapper. Even the wrapper can affect the, like if you get it from a retail and it's not a fresh wrapper anymore because it's been sitting around the humidor, and cellophane is like a mirror, like I was talking about before, when smoke is around it, dust, even the moisture from the humidor coming in and out, blowing the air all over the place, it can develop a film and start, all the spores and all of the different leaf particles are roaming in the air, and they land on that cello. And even putting that cello in your humidor can affect the taste of the sticks next to it. So I always advise remove the cello before putting the cello, the wrapper, right? The outer plastic, remove that, especially if it's discolored in any way. If it was in a box and, the lid was on it and it still looks crystal clear, not so much. You can get away with that. But the other ones, you just don't know how long it was sitting there acquiring those various agins in the air, okay? So remove that cello and then put your cigar in there. But any flavor blend needs to go in a flavor box, okay? So you should have a specific box. If you love bourbons, get you a bourbon box. In fact, get you a box. In fact, I think I have something here that I can give you an example. Yes, I do. Let's see here. Okay. I'll give you this as an example, okay? Let's take this box, for example, is a Liberty box, okay? You can get this Liberty box if you love bourbon, you love rum, get you a little bit of rum, okay? Open the box like this. Pour you some bourbon in there, right? Close it up. Do all that, okay? You don't have to do it like that, but I do because I'd be bored as shit. So then this cedar box that it's in will absorb the alcohol, okay? You don't want it to be sopping wet, or the glue in the seams will separate the box, right? So depending on where the box was made, but these are usually made really well. And by the way, the Liberty cigar is a good blend that it for an affordable retail value. So if you have this and you take that Liberty stick that you had removed and from the cello, and then you put it back in there, close it up, and leave it to hibernate, okay? I would do the same thing, except I hibernate the entire leaf, right? So I'll put this in all, I can't even touch that anymore. That crusty leaf right there. So all of the blends will go down into the hibernation chamber, which is a larger vessel than this. And then those would get infused. I'm gonna close my alcohol over here. the leaf would get directly infused, then rolled, right? So it's the reverse of that. You would just put the leaf in. Every day you just want to open it up a little bit until that inside, and you'll see the stick will start to absorb that right away. When the inside's no longer wet but still smells like bourbon, you can leave it closed. Okay, you leave it sit there for a month, 2 months, 3 months, then smoke that bitch, right? Knock it back. That baby be beautiful. So little boxes, if you have individual flavors, like if you like the almond amaretti, you can get a box, a 3-count box or 2-count box if you're expecting that to come in, and just, you can leave it. I usually send them, I think I might have sent my last one already, but I usually send them with a little sachet. If it's cedar, whatever the blend is, it'll be a little sachet on the inside. If I send you a full box, it'll have the sachet inside, and that will continue. You don't have to add the aroma yourself. It will come with the aroma in the box, and then all of those would have the same flavor. You just save that box so that you can use it when you get more. Yes, if you put any flavor profile next to a blend that does not carry those notes, even if it's not marinated, okay? So when you put your box of sticks in and you have another company's box of sticks next to, leave a little space, okay? Leave a little space. They don't have to touch each other. A lot of times that is in part why they do use the cello, but just the cello. If you just come away from the cello, it would just make your life better. But yes, it will transfer. We call it transference, right? So it's palate flavor profile transference. Okay, so those will transfer. So think ahead of those flavors that you like. You can pre-treat a box and just have them waiting. By the time it gets there, you can just pop those flavors in. It'll just help sustain the flavor. If you find that a stick is losing its flavor because, you know, you might get it and be like, oh, I can smell it in there and it's so wonderful and all this stuff. And then a couple months down the way, you left it in your open air of your humidor, right? The evaporation of the alcohol, the flavor might be in here, but the alcohol may have dissipated. So if you want to return that to the leaf, all right, go back to this handy trick. Soak up the box first, drop that in there. Actually, there's a good example. Drop that in there, okay? You can turn your nasty sticks into wonderful sticks. By nasty, I mean your $2 sticks. You can take your 99-cent Dutch and turn it into so much. Not. So, anyway, I just want to say that that's my final note for the day. Yes, you can. Jason! You're like my Wilson ball. Wilson! Hi, Jay. So good to see you. So anyways, I hope you get time to re-review. I know that in an hour, I really try to pack a lot in, but, you know, did I say I talk a lot? Because I do. I smoke a lot, I drink a lot, and I speak a lot. Okay, but I drink a lot of Milano Milk Shakes. You see all this ass, right? Ain't nobody playing up in this piece. I like my goodies. So, until next week, until next roll call session, honeys. Long leaf life to you. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Right? If you have any questions, comments, sign below. What else am I supposed to say? Like, follow, subscribe, something like that, right? Do all that shit. Tell your friends. And I'll be here next week, okay? Hopefully with the new baby fully operational. I managed to get it from the camera to the computer, but I couldn't get it to the live. So I'm going to switch computers because maybe this computer is just not as happy as my other one. So, and then hopefully next week I'll have more time and I will show off more blends and talk about more details about your pairing and palette experience, okay? So get that Milano Milk Shake, hook up, huntsies, and have a wonderful week. Toodles.